Okay.
T-shirt.
Here's what we got. We are going to talk with Kevin. We're putting his light together right now.
Yes,
you see
we
him
are.
on the screen right there. The FAA is scaring the hell
He's
out
shadow
of me.
banned, as you can see.
In the year 2000, as we try to get that done. Seriously, when you talk about the FAA right now and the flight situation that's happening, we're used to having some problems and things that occur. Yeah, the Southwest thing happens. A big blizzard comes and it knocks everything out. And then all of a sudden, boom, we get another situation. Kevin, we're working on your shot right now, getting some light. Scotty, you're doing a great job getting that set up so dang quick. With Strategic Air Services, what the hell's going on?
So it's another computer system.
You said it's a what?
It's another computer system.
Oh my God! Eric says they're antiquated.
Everything in the United States is antiquated.
Oh my God!
Could you the FAA systems?
Yeah.
I mean,
so it's not the terrorists.
It's not the terrorists. They're put together by duct tape, pretty much. I mean, it's like every system in the FAA has been talked about being overhauled for like the last 20, 30 years.
Yeah, I mean, we still fly VORs.
We do. You almost have to these
What's
days.
a VOR for people who don't understand?
It's a unit that's on the ground that you tune into a radio in the airplane and you fly point to point. We have GPS now. We have all these other systems. They've been antiquated. They've been supposed to phase them out for 25 years.
Yeah.
And, yes, we're flying a lot of GPS approaches and things, but when it comes to en route flying, they're still flying VOR.
And they were built in the 30s and 40s. So it was basically what the old B-57 bombers would fly around following, and then TWA would follow those same routes. And now they're using these old piece of junk, which work. They work, these piece of junk.
They work, but they keep they keep everybody in the same.
Kevin, can you put that mic closer?
Yeah.
I'm the one that's hard of hearing on
Can
the
you hear
show.
me?
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's perfect.
So so we're talking about, you have the FAA problem, you have the airline problem, right? Pete Buttigieg is the problem, I guess, right?
I think the government's the problem.
Right, well, he's the guy holding the keys right now.
Yeah, the FAA is the problem.
Yeah.
If you look at EASA, which is the European FAA, they're light years ahead of us.
Oh, yeah.
Why is that?
They're more progressive. They actually do things. They actually make changes. The FAA right now follows whatever EASA does. We're not being followed like we used to be in the aviation business. Other countries don't follow what the United States does.
Right.
We're following what EASA does.
Yes.
So when they set a new standard, 5-8 years later, that's a new standard for us.
Yep.
That's crazy. So we're putting all of this money into hiring 87,000 IRS agents. We're putting all of this money into transgender bathrooms in schools.
Trillions of dollars, or $1 trillion
Reparations.
to Ukraine.
But we're not updating our computer systems at the FAA.
I mean, it's not even just the computer systems. It's
Runways.
Everything. Just everything.
I mean,
Yeah.
for example, if a manufacturer, somebody wants to do an upgrade on an airplane, they go and get it approved by EASA first. If it's approved by EASA, then the FAA will approve it. The FAA doesn't always approve things first, even if it's a United States manufacturer. But good news, I just saw before I came in here, the NOTAM system's back up.
Yay.
But the problem is you've got all these delays. So there's ground stops. I'll give you another example.
It looks larger than what we saw 2 weeks ago with Southwest.
Oh, yeah. Because this is every airplane. So a NOTAM is something that you have to check before you fly. Now, one thing that was a little on the media this morning that was a little off was they said that every airplane was grounded. Now, you're not required to check your NOTAM if you're flying VFR.
Right.
If I'm going to fly from here to Kansas City and I'm in visual flight rules, which means I've got visual contact with the ground, I've got X amount of feet below clouds, between clouds, things like that. And I don't need to use a precision approach going into an airport. I can see where I'm going and land. I don't have to check the NOTAMs. I don't have to confirm the NOTAMs. But if I'm going to fly out to Kansas City and I'm on an IFR flight plan, I have to know what approaches are working, what ILS is working, what runways are closed. I can't see it until I'm on my approach. So that's that was a little
misleading. But it's also another reason why if you charter a plane, or buy your own, then it really doesn't matter because your pilot, like he said, could fly VFR or at least get up in VFR, right?
They could. We don't very often.
Yeah.
With even our jets, just because it's a safety concern and.
Exactly.
Well, how
Yeah.
long do you think this is going to take for the airline industry to get back up? We try to bring this on because everybody's affected by airline travel, whether it's them personally or family members or friends, and of course, businesses. I mean, it's the middle of the week. People are traveling.
Yeah, well, it's going to take a while for the congested airports. So for the New Yorks, the Atlanta, Chicago's, Miami, because, it's probably not going to take quite as long for private aircraft because once we land, we go to an FBO, but it's going to take a long time for the airlines because they don't have gates.
Oh my God.
So if anyone's stranded right now at Lambert, they can head on over here and have no problem.
Was your
flying
phone
out.
blowing up when this happened
I
again?
got a lot of texts.
I
bet
figured
you
you
did.
did. Well, we
Yeah.
want to get you jump in studio to at least explain the situation. We have you in the building. We know you said that you were in your workout clothes. I think you look great. I wish I could come to work like that all the time. Oh,
Me
wait a second.
too.
We can.
I mean, I do too.
We do.
actually.
Oh, that's right. No more ties.
Yeah.
Any advice you can give for people, whether they're dealing with flights right now or if they're interested in strategic air services for some situation?
Well, as far as people stranded at the airports, I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do. Waiting for your flight, waiting for the airplane to arrive so you can have your flight. That's going to be the other problem. And, by the time, if they were supposed to leave at 10 o'clock this morning and that flight probably left at 7 o'clock and did 2 stops before it got to them, they're going to be hours behind outside of just having gates. But that's the risk you take when you fly the airline,
Yeah, but it's a risk we've never been
but
used
it's
to having.
not to this level. I mean, this is 2 in a row now, and this.
I mean, the first one wasn't the FAA's problem. That was Southwest. But
right.
It's and if you think about it, the airlines their business is to make money, so they cut costs where they can, and their cost they've been limping along with these antiquated computer systems.
Yeah,
and it's going to catch up with them. The FAA's having the same problem. Every system in the FAA has been antiquated.
Yeah,
and
that's a shame.
They have not invested in runways. They have not invested in navigational resources. They have not invested in their systems. But they do invest in people to come out and ramp check you on the airport.
Right.
Oh, how about that? Real quick,
They're
looking
fine,
ahead. Not only did we try to educate people here and tell them about what's going on, offer advice. What's next? If this goes out now, and you talk about how antiquated the systems are, Kevin, is this going to happen again?
I think there's going to be a lot of things happen. There's going to be where this is probably going to affect people long term is going to be where they're going to add new mandates for airplanes. They're going to add new mandates. That's what usually happens. Something happens with their systems or something, and for example, maybe 5-6 years ago, they had a en route. It's hard to explain, but an en route system, and there were a lot more airplanes flying. So rather than updating the system, they required airplane owners, whether it be the airlines or private owners, to update their aircraft so that they could fly closer together. Well, you got a big sky out there. They don't always have to be in the same airway.
Yeah.
There's many ways through GPS and things to change, but they put it back onto the owners of the airplanes to upgrade the airplanes so that they could talk to each other without a pilot, so that they could fly in closer together.
Well, before we let you go, how can people get in contact with Strategic Air Services if they're trying to buy a plane or if they're trying to park their plane here?
Yeah, Strategic Air Services .net. You call up here. You can come by and stop by and have a tour.
Works out. Kevin, we appreciate you joining us this morning. Thanks again, buddy.
No problem.
Do you have to go back to your workout now, or do you have to find people flights?
No, I have to work out now.
Hey, real quick before you go,
body, mind, spirit.
Our producer, tech guy, Scotty Gherkin, obviously here making sure everything's fine. You heard him sing last week. How good is he?
You should play that.
Do we have it?
You should
Do we have
really-
a copy of it?
Yeah, I have a copy.
I hate that I missed out.
I
I've
have
heard
a
about
copy.
it.
We will play Scott singing in just a little
It
bit.
was not easy to get him up there.
Hey, brother, we appreciate it. Thanks for joining
It
us, man. I
wasn't.
know you're busy. You can leave. We appreciate
All
it,
right,
man.
take care,
You don't have
guys.
to stay here. You've given us your time.
Thank you, Kevin. And I want to tell you, I am done with commercial flying. It is strategic air services only for me.
Bingo.
Vic's gonna pay for it.
Wow.
Yeah. You
There's
know,
an announcement. Tabitha's now she's jet setting
you
on
know
us.
what?
I love it.
I flew.
She's got the money to do it.
You know that's right.
Hey, Kevin, I did fly private from San Diego to St. Louis Sunday evening, and it was one of the best experiences I've ever had. One of the best experiences.
You know, one thing people don't talk about when it comes to flying private on a trip that long, San Diego to St. Louis, airlines fly in the 35,000.
Yes.
Feet, okay. Their pressurization system takes you down to about 10,000 feet.
Yeah.
A lot of these private airplanes will be at 51,000 feet on a trip like that, and the pressurization system will take you down to 5,000 feet. What that does to your body, you know, just think about being in the mountains at 10,000 feet compared to 5,000 feet for 2-3.
I felt
You
better.
feel better.
You know what? I did. I felt better.
You
And
do.
you know what else is interesting? The private planes, they fly faster.
They do.
We were back in under 3 hours from San Diego. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. But it was amazing. I didn't have to pay for that. But
So now you're hooked.
I'm
You're
hooked.
hooked.